Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your daily dose of Broodwar. Got a very special game here for you today. It's going to be Stork versus Absolute. Absolute down here in the bottom left, Stork in the bottom right. I recognize that Stork is getting ready to play in this newest season of the ASL very, very soon. If you're watching the Tastosis cast, we're a little bit behind on that. I just wanted to check him out, see how he was doing. If he was practicing well here just before this tournament. He's going to get a serious challenge here from Absolute, who is an up-and-coming Zerg player. Very, very strong on the ladder. He's going to be putting down a pretty early pool here, and gas, actually, which is pretty interesting. I think this was an overpool, but adding on the gas very quickly here as well. And I think that Stork has scouted this. So this is an interesting play. We're definitely going to see a good group of Lings out here. Probably just going to mine enough gas for that Zergling speed, and then not too much more. Actually, he's not mining off of it at all right now, which is interesting. Pylon here, the natural, is going to be blocking for a little bit, but 6 Lings are about to pop out here, so he should be able to clear this pretty darn quick. Now finally mining that gas. A little bit of a strange build to start off here for Absolute. He's going to get a hatchery here at the front. This is something that I never really do, but I guess it makes sense. Getting this hatchery here, you're going to have that larva. You're not going to be able to mine off of this right off the bat, but you're getting your SimCity set up, and you will have a third hatch coming down just shortly after this is finished. So there we go. Third hatch pops down. Zealot checks the third base. No third base here just yet. And we're probably going to see something a little bit strange from our Zerg friend here, Absolute. What is he going to do? I think we're going to see like not an early Spire here. Probe's gonna make its way into the natural. We'll find 4 Lings waiting for him. Almost loses that immediately. Zealot is over here just kind of chilling behind these mineral patches. It's a good spot to leave that Zealot back at home. We have the Nexus on the way. Forge is done. We should see a cannon coming up here pretty darn soon. Gas on the way as well. Looks like that probe got picked off before it could make its way into the main base. Not really too much to see up there anyway. No gas being mined right now. Looks like the Zealot will make its way over here towards the natural finally. I'm not sure why we need so many resources at the front to check. You can see that there's a cannon and plenty of Zealots, so it's gonna leave 4 Zealots at home. Probably should send the rest of these back as well. Deal with this, or 4 Lings at home. Oh wow, great surround there with that speed finishing up. Excellent, excellent micro there by Absolute as well, keeping this one Ling alive. Third base will come down here for common. You know, I'm thinking they're probably going to see no layer here for quite a bit of time, and maybe we're gonna have to go to Evolution Chamber. Yeah, there's the Evolution Chamber there. So Evolution Chamber means we're gonna see a Spore here in the natural, and he's gonna drone up super hard after this, putting a ton of drones up, and also quite a bit of static defense. So Spore, maybe a couple of sunken colonies here, a couple of sunken colonies here as well. Maybe get an early upgrade also. We've got that gas mining right now. Might want to grab that early upgrade. +1 armor can be really, really helpful in these situations because the +1 attack has just started. I want to see if he starts this +1 armor. That could be huge. Yeah, he does. So look at that. We're going to have +1 armor just moments behind that +1 attack. So when the timing attack comes here from Stork, when he eventually sends out, you know, his speed zealots, +1 speed zealots, they're not going to do nearly as well as they usually would against Lings. Lings are probably going to be the tool that Absolute uses to hold on against that wave of Zealots that's going to be coming out here. Quite a lot of drones being added on. There's that Spore colony I was talking about earlier. All the overlords being sent directly to that. Doesn't want to lose too many overlords here to start this off. So maybe just this one. Gonna get picked off here as it's running back. Stayed a little bit too long. Overstayed its welcome. And probably that Corsair is gonna end up finding it. It's like Stork just getting the full scout here. He's about to find out what he's up against. Hasn't really figured it out just yet, but probably can infer from what he saw with the earlier Zealot and Probe. Going up to 6 hatch here, it looks like, as Absolute. Adding on another creep colony here. This could be a spy. I was going to say spying colony. This could be a sunken colony. Ooh, burrow on the way. Oh, that's pretty cool. Layer is finished. Spotted the timing on that layer finishing up. We may end up going in directly into Lurker here, actually. Sort of counter the Zealot timing. But I don't see a Hydralisk Den yet. Oh, a Spire. So a pretty late Spire here getting thrown down. That's a ton of drones right now. Look at that. 41 drones. This is a style that really allows you to drone up super, super hard. I wonder what these group colonies are here for. Usually what I like to do is put the spore in the front and then put your sunken colonies right here along this wall so that the Zealots have to run all the way around here to get on top of them. And, you know, you're going to be firing with your sunkens before they even get up the ramp. So if you put a few lings here on the ramp and you've got 2 sunkens here, it's really, really strong. Looks like we just killed the eggs so we can let out Dragoons and Zealots onto the map. Zealots are heading out here. Their +1 just now finished up, but the +1 Carapace is going to finish here pretty soon as well. We're just about done that upgrade, so you should have it in time for this attack to come through. Looks like pulling all the drones to the ramp. Gonna try to defend against these Zealots. Oh god, the Zealots are getting up the ramp though. This is not good. You do not want to allow these Zealots up here. Looks like they're gonna kill a ton of these drones as well. And jump right on top of these sunken colonies. See, this is a weird position to put your sunken colonies right here. I'd much prefer to have them in a more tucked position, like back here. You can even make eggs to block. You know, you can make these larvae move there and block with those eggs, but the Zealots are finally going to get surrounded here as a big wave of lings pops out and goes to work on these. Looks like he is going to end up picking the majority of them off, or maybe even all of them. Great surrounds here with that +1 armor being finished on the lings. He will clean this up. And Zealots all have fallen. So 48 drones remain. It looks like he's popped out a big wave of those now, up to 50. With a spore popping up here. Archon's moving out on the map right now. We've got still 3 Corsairs, so they have taken some significant damage. Burrowed Ling out in the front. He sees these DTs moving out on the map. We got 4 DTs here. This is a really hard attack to hold, actually. They can just run by into your main base. It's very, very scary. 2 Archons here, just ripping those Lings apart so fast. 3 Sunkens going to be placed here on the high ground. 2 Sunkens here in the natural. Let's see how this goes. These DTs are going to try and run by, I should think. And they can slip through this little tiny crack here in this left-hand side. He's going to pull the drones to try and block. DTs may be able to still get up here onto the high ground. 1 DT manages to slip by. The rest are going to die. Archons will be picked off as well, but this 1 DT in the main... Oh, burrowed drones here. Trying to keep those alive. Looks like creep colony being made here. Zealots go to work on this sunken here in the natural. Looks like he's going to pick off one of the sunkens, but the other sunken will remain. One of the spores went down as well, so now he can get to work on these overlords. We still don't have overlord speed, so they have nowhere to run. These 3... Oh my god, so many overlords going down here. Crazy amounts of damage from these Stork Corsairs here. Oh my god, he even lost these 2, but he did kill that that DT here in the main because of this spore colony finishing up, unburrowing his drones. He's still got 47, so not too bad. He's gonna chase back these Corsairs. Honestly, there's not many Corsairs left, so a big Muta switch could be really powerful here. Modelings moving over to this base. Some mutas are popping out now. More sunken colonies being produced. We do have a Hydralisk down, but I don't think we've seen any Hydralisk upgrades. It's just been madness here so far. With Absolute trying desperately to hold on against all these attacks. Lings and Zealots in a bit of a standoff there. Looks like he's going to burrow some of these Lings. Will he unburrow them as these Zealots come forward? Whoa, these Zealots are pretty brave, walking up against 3 sunken colonies and only 2 of them. Lings burrowed over here as well. I guess he's going to wait for like some of the Zealots to run up the ramp and then unburrow everything to kind of block the remainder. Oh, a drop into the main. 4 DTs slipping in here. And he's going to pick up and drop some more Zealots as well. Looks like these Zealots on the low ground are going to get surrounded, and the DTs on the high ground are going to get killed off by these mutas. Oh, he's got to get the mutas together here. Save this spore colony. The spore colony is super important. He's going after an evolution chamber for whatever reason. Stork deciding to kill his evolution chamber is not going to pay off. That wasn't even researching anything. He should have gone for the drones. So he gets a few drones here. Another evolution chamber is going to start. Queen's Nest is done. So on 3 base, we're going to go for a hive here from Absolute. Our 3rd base is already done for, or not quite done here for Stork. It's pretty well defended though, with quite a lot of cannons. Does need to add on more though, as we have these Mutalisks on the field now. You can see Absolute struggling a bit here. He's not getting his stuff kind of moving in the proper direction just yet. Some storms are available, kind of setting things up back at home. 44 drones. He's still been adding on drones. He's just been losing a lot to all of this harassment with the DTs and the drops and all of that good stuff. Archons, everything has gone into harassing this economy and trying to break the Zerg early on. It hasn't worked completely, but he's done a pretty decent job of kind of slowing Absolute down. And here's the 4th base location. We're gonna have that 4th base down here in the bottom right, quickly burrowing that drone just so, you know, Stork won't know where that drone was, or if there was a drone headed down here. And he can unburrow and take that base. Looks like we're flying in with a ton of Scourge here. Gonna go after this High Templar. Gets the High Templar on high ground and goes after, oh no, the High Templar is still there. Okay, the High Templar did finally die. He's gonna go after these cannons here, but a lot of Dragoons are going to make their way up to help defend. Still having some Lings here is going to help push back the Dragoons a little bit, and a lot of probes are going down. Oh my god, Storm on top of all of this, including the probes. I don't think you're expecting that as Absolute for the Protoss to storm their own probes, but there you go. Now he's going to dive here into the main. This is the really hard part about this map, Eclipse, is that trying to get your Dragoons from here all the way back over to here is going to be an absolute nightmare. Tons more probes going down here in the main. This is a huge win for Absolute. You got to be kicking yourself for not using this Stargate a little bit more and kind of like building up that Corsair count once again. Looks like Lings are going to break their way up in here. And Stork is actually going across the map right now. He's going for a counterattack. While his forge in the main went down, cannons are going to finish up here. 2 cannons at least, with the probes defending them. Maybe he can keep these cannons alive and keep this base going for now. Stork very low on the money right now. He's going to lose his main nexus while he's going for this counterattack. Tons of sunken colonies being thrown down here. Emergency sunken colonies. Will it be enough? Dragoons running up and getting their shots on them, but that's so many sunken colonies finishing up behind this. And we've mostly got storms here. We've got 3 Templar and not enough Zealots. It looks like this is going to hold on with the Lings popping out. He should be able to keep this alive. Great storm dodge there by our Zerg. Just keeping most of those drones alive. And look at that. Actually, still 53 drones for Stork. Somehow, he's got 53 drones. He really needs to transfer some over here. Get this base going. Actually, not too bad of saturation over here, but it could be better. DT here, put that all right on there on the high ground. That's a perfect spot for it because the Overlords still don't have speed. I can't explain to you that one. That's crazy to me. Zealots making their way down here to the bottom right. Looks like Stork gonna be able to deny this. So keeping his opponent on 3 bases is a huge win right now. He just needs to defend this top center. That's all he needs to do right now. And as long as he's got this DT on the ramp, I think he should be able to do that. Although, that's quite a lot of Mutalisks getting up here. There's 4 cannons on high ground still remaining, so he may be able... Oh, he got the DT. He killed the DT. No, he didn't. DT is still there, dealing some damage. Looks like it moved, though. And he's managed to get up here. Probes being pulled, evacuated. This base is going to go down, it looks like. That's so unfortunate for Stork. He's going to lose this Nexus. And he drops down to 29 probes, so not defending this base properly. All he needed was a single Templar here, a High Templar, with some Storm to kind of bash back these Mutas. He's going to lose the main base once again as well. There's an Archon. Archon would have been a great idea as well. Archon in that top, in that third base would have been huge. Oh, getting some big shots on these Mutas, pushing them back. Maybe he can resecure his main base, but this third base is pretty much doomed. I don't see him being able to take this back for the foreseeable future. There's a pretty decent sized army here, though. Archon is moving over towards that top center base. DT has an insane number of kills with 15 to his name. This Archon's made its way over here with 5 kills himself, trying to get a shot on these Mutas as they fly towards the main base. More Mutas are arriving. There's an Archon here and an Archon there. Archon everywhere, defending both of these bases. Finally, Stork taking this seriously. Fourth base is going to come up here in the bottom right. A DT sent down here could actually deny this because we don't have Overlord speed. Oh my god, still no Overlord. We're getting an Ultralisk Cavern and we don't have Overlord speed. What is happening? Guardians are being produced. Guardians, where are they? Okay, they're all down here. Looks like he's going to use them defensively to defend this base down here in the bottom right. This is such a weird game, guys. We haven't seen a single lurker this game. We're seeing Guardians and Ultras coming out here soon. Archon's making their way down here. He's going to try and snipe these Templar because the Templar are really the best defense against the Guardians. Guardians here from the high ground, raining down fire on top of these Zealots. Maybe the Archons, though, can get up here and get some attacks on these. No, he gets pushed back, surprisingly. Losing an Archon to a group of Mutas here, but the Corsair number has suddenly jumped up to 6. Looks like he's added on a second Stargate. So finally fully countering the Guardians and Mutas here. Look at that, DT being sent down, and this is exactly what I was talking about. You cannot save this base with a DT here, and all the Guardians are gonna go down for free. Oh my goodness. So many Guardians being lost here. But this is still anybody's game. We do not have a third base for our Protoss player. We're still mining on 3 bases here, but this base is completely mined out. Main is about to mine out as well. I think maybe Absolute's got this. That's a lot of Scourge coming in, but this is also a lot of Corsairs. You should be able to kill all the Scourge, actually. Assuming they don't come in at a very, like, spread out angle, he should be able to fight that and kill it. Stork has 36 minerals, though, guys. 36 minerals, whereas Absolute has 2,000 banked up. That is a very, very rough position here for Stork. Looks like he's going to send his remaining probes over towards this base, but Guardians have finished up over here. And waves of Lings are coming across the map. We've got 3-2 upgrades done for these. So actually exceeding the Protoss upgrades right now. And just going to continue to counterattack here over and over again. What? Where are these Corsairs going? They need to fight these Scourge. Kill all the Scourge. Don't they have +1? They do have +1. We've got +2 armor, though. Oh my goodness. +2 armor on these is pretty nasty. And Ultralisk. Speed is coming up here. This guy doesn't even know what to do with all of his money right now. Building Ultralisk speed. Kind of crazy. Looks like he picked off that Archon as well. And GG is called. Stork gonna tap out from here. So we didn't see any Ultralisk made, but the Guardian play was very, very strong. That was a crazy, crazy game. Mutalisk kind of dominating, actually, Stork, who seemed to be doing a good job. He had his third base up and running, and he had a lot of cannons over there. Just unfortunately didn't have an Archon or any other form of defense to kind of bolster that. Mass Muta just able to get in there and take that down. I really like the heavy Ling play as well from Absolute, not relying on Hydra at all this game, by the way. Not even a single Hydra produced. He didn't get any of those Hydra upgrades, just continuously getting armor and attack for those Lings and upgrading the mutas, pumping out a ton of those and putting the punishment back on a Stork, who is really the aggressor for the early part of the game, doing a ton of damage, killing off a lot of drones, doing lots of drops and craziness. Absolute just hanging on until he got to that critical mass of mutas where he could really turn the pressure back onto his opponent. A great game here from these two players. This is one of those gems of a game that you find sometimes on ladder. Even though Stork and Absolute are not the most insane best players in the world right now, they pulled out a fantastic game here from us, for us. Very entertaining, very enjoyable game. So guys, this has been your daily dose of Broodwar. Hope you had a great time, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.